But what are people going to see by way of changes as a result of this last round of budget cuts?
Well, unfortunately, our state agencies are being asked to once again reduce expenditures, and in some cases that will result in layoffs. People will lose their jobs, and services will be in certain ways reduced or curtailed. We're trying to do it in a way that will enable us to maintain a basic level of services that will be available through our agencies for the people of Ohio. But these are difficult choices, and I would not be honest with you, or I would not be candid with the people of our state if I implied that there would be no detrimental effects as a result of these cuts.
In your mind, does anything stand out in terms of services that will be affected or positions that will be cut?
Well, I'm allowing my agencies to look at their particular situations, whether it's natural resources or job and family services or any other of the agencies of our government, and they will be using their best judgments, but they will be following certain principles that I've emphasized to them, and that's they should do everything possible to make sure that direct services available to the people of our state are maintained as much as possible, and that whatever reductions or cutbacks are necessary, as much as possible should come from activities and from personnel that are not responsible for providing direct services to people.
Last question I have. In some cases, these aren't direct cuts; they're tapping unspent funds.
That's right.
Is there any conclusion to be drawn that maybe we didn't need this money to begin with, if we have it available not to spend to balance our budget?
Well, what I believe is that the decisions that I've made in some very significant ways are reducing services which people could legitimately expect to receive from state government. There will be pain. There will be people who perhaps are in need who will not receive the level of assistance that would be defensible and desirable. Now, if I could make these reductions without any negative effects, then I would agree with you that perhaps we did not need those resources to start with. But I do believe that there is going to be very significant negative effects, and that's unfortunate. And we are doing everything we can to minimize those effects.
Do you see any more cuts being needed between now and the end of this current?
Well, I certainly hope not, but Mark, we monitor it. We monitor it on a continuous basis, and I can tell you that what happened in December regarding retail sales and the tax revenue coming into the state was not good news, and so I would emphasize that these are exceptional circumstances that the country, as well as Ohio, has not faced for many decades, and it is requiring us to make decisions in order to maintain a balance within our budget. That's my constitutional responsibility. And are the decisions difficult? And in some cases, do they result in negative consequences for some of the people who live within our state? I think that's true. That's the reality of where we are.